A great weekend we're expecting, and of course, you have to start it off with sports today here on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV. My name is Nathaniel Ato. I'm backed by the rest of the Joy Sports team to bring you this big one-on 30-minute package. And remember, just in case you want to be getting interactive with us, it's 1760. And also, you can get on my page, Nathaniel Ato Citizen Ato, as we bring you all the big stories right now and what to expect for the weekend as well. And of course, I'll be telling you about the Ghana FA president who's been talking about preparations for the Ghana-Egypt clash. Remember that military stadium, 30,000-seater military stadium, has been announced as the venue for the Ghana-Egypt clash ahead of the World Cup. So this final round of World Cup qualifiers surely is going to go down to the wire and surely is going to bring the best out of both teams as everybody is trying to get the best out of their squads. Of course, some of the newspapers are reporting as well that Michael Essien surely is going to be a big part of Coach Kwesi Appiah's plans. And also, I'll be telling you about when the squad is expected to be released for that big game on October 15 featuring Ghana and Egypt in the first round of final playoffs for the FIFA 2014 World Cup. I'll also be telling you about the match for the weekend here on Joy Sports. Remember, it's going to be Manchester United versus West Brom. Manchester United brimming with a lot of confidence after that big win over Liverpool during the week. And of course, it's going into another match day in the English Premier League. We'll also be doing a big preview to all the big leagues all over the world and what you are supposed to expect this weekend in sport all over the world. We'll also be doing some developments within other African countries, the likes of Cameroon, where Samuel Eto'o. All right, so I be getting you into the details of what's in the newspapers. A lot of stuff. The Kotoko Express is reporting on what is going to be like when the Porcupine Warriors return to the Baba Yara Stadium this weekend. It says back to Baba Yara for the big homecoming. And of course, remember that Asante Kotoko are returning to the Baba Yara Stadium after that big win over arch rivals Asante, Accra Hearts of Oak. And also, they are, getting a big sigh of relief after, finishing up that ban that was handed them, the home match ban that was handed to Asante Kotoko. So it surely is going to be a big weekend of football as we look forward to what we should expect in the Ghana Premier League. Remember, the deal with SuperSport has been sealed, so the FA president is also counting on the big benefits that the league will derive from the league. Of course, there we are. So back to the Baba Yara Stadium this weekend for match day 3. Kumasi Asante Kotoko in a smooth lead at the moment, after posting that 1-0 win over Accra Hearts of Oak. All right, so let's get in the inner pages in the center spread. Asante Kotoko versus Edubiase. That surely is a flashback of what happened last season. And there we are. The Baba Yara Stadium surely is going to come alive. Kumasi Asante Kotoko holding an edge as they go into this game. So basically, Asante Kotoko is looking forward to compounding New Edubiase's problems in the league. And it surely is going to be one very interesting one. Now, Accra Hearts of Oak, after that disappointment against Asante Kotoko on Sunday, are going to charge on Inter Allies this weekend. Yes. Definitely. And the Phobians look forward to salvaging some pride and restoring a comfortable position as we look forward to match day 3. And some players featured here, Eric Kumi and Selassie J in the center spread of Accra Hearts of Oak's mouthpiece. Get used to the men who will be donning the Phobian jersey and the rainbow colors for the upcoming season. Of course, Coach Kwesi Appiah has revealed that Essien is a key man. There we are. Essien is a key man for this game. And Spurs want to add to Jose Mourinho's headache. I'll be telling you about that in a bit. There's an open letter to the FA president on the comment page. Rather interesting topic on the coaching department of the Black Stars team. I'm sure you'd want to take a look at it as well. Also, on the sports medicine page, there is one on sports and alcohol. I'm sure that you're looking forward to reading on that as well. And, of course, the man featured is Jose Maria Gutierrez Hernandez. Guti achieved so much with Real Madrid, and the Spanish star up close and personal on the lifestyle page of the Graphic Sports newspaper on this Friday edition. Now we get inside, and David Alaba, the Austrian-born Liverpool player, featured here. And, of course, highlights of the Capital One Cup during the week. Also featured there. We move on with some more. And, you know, Usain Bolt seems to be doing a lot of politics in football, trying to catch the attention of the football world. And he says that he can make Gareth Bale run better. And, of course, Robert Lewandowski is set to join Bayern for free. And, of course, these are stories on the international page. Also, that story on Venus Williams, who's cruising on in the Tokyo Open. Well, Venus Williams in recent times has not been in the best of form. A total opposite of what her younger sister Serena is doing in the ring. So Egypt to release 10,000 fans on Ghana. And Messi hates to be substituted. And, of course, Bolt says he can make Gareth Bale run faster. Remember that Gareth Bale has a major quality of speed, which he brings into the Real Madrid setup. Let's quickly take a look at the 90 Minutes newspaper, what they've got for us before we go into the details of our main stories today. And Ozil and Mandia, the new Posh and Becks. Okay, there we are. Mesut Ozil and his partner seem to be on the path to replacing David and Victoria Beckham, one of the most photographed couples in the world, who surely have grown a lot of value. Sergio Aguero, who scored a magnificent goal against Manchester United last weekend, is featured there in the center spread. And there's one rather interesting one. The little kids are getting big inspiration in these formative years there. Neymar and Messi bonding there with their kids. Okay, so that's it for the newspapers. Remember, you can look for me on Facebook, and also you can get through 1760. That's the text code, 1760, so we can get talking and we can start it off right here on the show. Okay, so let's get into the details of our first story, where FA President Kwesi Nyantakyi has been talking about the Ghana-Egypt clash and the new developments with the announcement of a venue and all of that. Let's take a listen.
As they would like to play in Cairo, conditions are not suitable to play games in Cairo now. So they may want to consider Alexandria, the military stadium in Alexandria, as a possible venue. But what I know from my interaction with my Egyptian friends is that they are very serious about this game. They think that Ghana is a very strong and formidable opponent, and they are not leaving anything to chance. Much the same way that Ghana is taking this match, we are also very serious with the game. We think that both Ghana and Egypt are very strong football nations. We have very rich pedigree in this competition. We've been to the World Cup before. We have very excellent players. Egypt, former champion so many times. Ghana, former champion, and also recent exploits at the World Cup attest to our achievements and excellence in the game at this level. And so we are very cautious with this game. We are not leaving any stone unturned. We are really putting every detail and attention that it deserves so we can get a good score line that will eventually qualify us to the World Cup. Fortunately, we are playing the first leg here on the 15th of October, and we consider it the final before the final. We have to win this match and win with a good score line so that the return match in Egypt will be a mere formality.
Is the FA not worried the fact that you're playing the first leg here and will go to Egypt for the second leg?
20 years ago, excuse me, 20 years ago, the sequence of the games, whether you were playing first or second leg, was an issue in Africa. At the moment, it's no longer an issue. All the games are on television. All the hanky-panky deals that used to go on in football are no longer there. There is more fairness and fair play. There is more of a level playing ground. Some of the things that used to happen with bad organization and cheating are no longer there. Playing Egypt first or second will not make any difference if you don't prepare well. It will not make any difference if you don't have a good team. And so we think that this is the opportunity for us to kill, as somebody said, to kill the game in Ghana before we move to Egypt. Also take note that the fact that almost all our players have played at the highest level. They played in the UEFA Champions League. They played in the CAF Champions League. They play in the top leagues of the world. Means that if they are even playing in Cairo, it doesn't make any difference. Even with 100,000 crowd attendance, it doesn't make any difference. No amount of intimidation can influence their play. And we did it in South Africa in 2005. We beat them there 2-0. We beat Sudan recently. We beat Lesotho recently. All away games. So for me, the fact that we're playing away, it's really a local balance. They will say it offers an advantage to the one who plays the second. But to me, it does not. We are considering the game we're playing in Ghana as the finals. And so whether it's home or away, we really are not thinking about the second leg. We are thinking about winning and winning well so we qualify.
What does qualification to the World Cup for a third time in a row mean to your tenure as Ghana FA boss? You're serving your second term in office. You've halved the second term. You feel that this is the defining moment. Making it to the World Cup again will enrich your CV?
Personally, I don't have anything personally to gain from that. I'm a Ghanaian, first of all. My interest as a Ghanaian is to see the team through the World Cup. The man walking the street of Accra, Kumasi, Wa, or Sekondi is interested in seeing Ghana at the third World Cup. And that brings to us, as a people, a sense of pride, honor, and dignity. And that is the achievement that I think I'll share with my fellow Ghanaians. As a football association, we will be seen to have done our work well. But I believe that going to the World Cup on a 3 successive occasion will put our country on the world map once again. It will advertise our country in terms of football, in terms of politics, in terms of tourism, in terms of economics, everything. It is going to enhance our stature in the international community. And to that extent, I think that we should all strive hard to support the team to make it to the third World Cup. I also believe that it will give Ghana football a flip. It will give it a new lease of life altogether. Because once we go to the World Cup, our players are going to get exposure. Some of them are going to get bigger clubs. Their contracts will be enhanced. Some will be going to secure contracts, international contracts for the first time. And the monies that they're going to earn from all these contracts, most of them will find their way back into Ghana as foreign remittances that will help to build our country. So let us look at it from a wider perspective, not a narrow one as whether an individual is gaining any recognition or benefit.
Have you thought about if we didn't qualify?
It's a possibility. There is no certainty in football. What is certain is that we can qualify and we may not qualify. The two possibilities are all certain. Any of them can happen. I mean, one will happen by all means. But the fact that you think about the option of Ghana not qualifying, for me, is extra motivation for us to qualify. Because if you don't qualify, you lose a lot. You lose a lot. And that should spur us on to qualify and gain more. If we don't qualify, we lose all the monies that come with it. The last time, by virtue of our placement at the World Cup, we got $40 million. The next World Cup, if we got to the quarterfinal, it will certainly be more than that. $40 million in the life of Ghana or even the GFA is no mean achievement, and it's no small money. And so that motivates us that, look, we don't have to fail. We don't have to fail our people, and we do not have to fail and miss the boat to the World Cup.
You're talking about players. How much are you concerned about which players are selected for the assignment? Because there are talks now. You just came to town, but it's everywhere on social media that Richard Kingston is likely to be invited for the qualifier. You think he's got a chance to return? He's returned to active football now in Cyprus.
Of course. Why was Richard dropped from the Black Stars? It was because he became clubless. If he's now playing, it means that there is every opportunity for him to come back, provided he's playing and playing well. For such a veteran goalkeeper as Richard Kingston, I believe if he's indeed playing well and he gets the chance to come back to the team, it will be a big boost to the team's chances of qualifying to the World Cup. Because with Richard Kingston, you can go and sleep. If he is in good form, you can go and sleep that he's the best pair of hands we have in the country. And any time he got the chance to play for the Black Stars, he has never disappointed. Even when he's injured, he tries to keep it up and keep the post. I need to emphasize that the Black Stars is not a club side. It is open to every Ghanaian footballer anywhere in the world who is in good form. His selection to the Black Stars is based on performance. Mr. Kingston has been there for a long time. He's been in and out of the Black Stars. And so if he's doing well, he has a chance to come in, and we will all welcome and embrace that gesture.
Can you confirm that if the technical team has made contact to him?
Yes, I can confirm that there have been some contacts with Richard Kingston, and the technical team is currently monitoring his performance. Just 3 weeks away to the game. Between now and the game, if they are convinced that Richard Kingston is in good form, I do not think they will hesitate in inviting him. And we in management will also embrace it.
Well, so you heard it. So contact has been made to goalkeeper Richard Kingston as we build up to the final round of qualifying matches for Brazil 2014. What do you make of this? Get on my Facebook page and let's get talking. I'm just trying to get some of the messages and retrieve some of them as we get some more stories here on the show. Now, Egypt, remember, has chosen a venue. The military stadium in Alexandria is a 30,000-seater for this big game. Of course, the final clash, which will be in November, on November 19 specifically, and fans will be allowed into the stadium when the Black Stars take on the Pharaohs of Egypt. All right, so we've got some more stories here. And, of course, Coach Kwesi Appiah wants players to be in top form before this clash comes. Of course, no coach will want any half-fit players for such important games like these. And, of course, Coach Kwesi Appiah is not taking anything to chance, wants to make sure that all his players are in there. One key name and face is Richard Kingston, two-time World Cup star, who looks very likely to get up there. And the 54-year-old head coach of the Black Stars is ready to announce his squad to face the Pharaohs. So when at all are we going to see the squad that will face the Pharaohs of Egypt in that first encounter here in Ghana at the Baba Yara Stadium? Well, the Communications Director of the Ghana Football Association, Ibrahim Sani Dara, has been talking about this new development, and he's got news on when exactly and what's going to go into it.
We'll be assured that the squad for the Black Stars will be released at the right time. There are 10 countries playing in the qualifiers. Only a handful have named theirs. Every country has got its plan of naming its squad for a match and all. All of these things are strategic. So if one country names its squad and Ghana has not named it, doesn't mean that we should rush to name our squad. Our squad will come out at the right time. We are about 3 weeks to the match. Sometimes we even name squads 1 week before the game. So we still got more time.
So there it is. He says that it will be named, the squad will be named at the right time. So just take your time. Everybody is really looking forward to this, and I'm sure that as time goes on, we're going to see who will make that squad. But the news, obviously, that has been confirmed by the Ghana Football Association president is that the man, Richard Kingston, has been contacted by the technical team of the Ghana Football Association. My friend Nana Grant in the UK sends this message and says, "Olele all the way." Okay, he is rooting for goalkeeper Richard Kingston to make a return to the Black Stars team. And then there is another message here also on Facebook, and it's from Jamode Kafui Ozil. He says that Nathaniel Olele shouldn't be called back into the senior team. He is not to be trusted when in goal. Okay. Interesting messages coming in today. Alvin Bubble says, I believe in second chances, so Richard Kingston should be called back into the team. I'll be reading some more of your messages as we go ahead with our stories here on the show. But we've also caught up with the coach of TP Mazembe, who are in town trying to get the team together and all of that. Ahead of major activities during the season. And of course, the Joy Sports team caught up with the coach of TP Mazembe, and he's been speaking about the team. He's, first of all, I've been talking about the Ghana-Egypt clash and how he expects it to go. And of course, the Confederation Cup preparations that the team is holding here in Ghana.
I personally hope that Ghana will go to the World Cup in Brazil. I hope they will beat Egypt. Of course, Egypt also got a good team, but I think Ghana actually has a fantastic generation. After what they did during the World Cup in South Africa, I really would like them to go to Brazil, because I think at the moment this team can go very far. They're a fantastic player, and I'd like them to go very far in the competition.
What about the Egyptians? They're also a very strong team.
Yeah, we all know that the second game will be really hard for Ghanaian people and Ghanaian players. But I think all will depend of the atmosphere. I don't know in which conditions they're gonna play in Egypt. I hope the security will be good enough for them to play their football, and I think they can qualify for this World Cup.
Are you enjoying your stay in Ghana?
Yeah, of course. I discovered Ghana a few months ago, and I really do appreciate, because we have to travel so far to go to Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco. That for us it's a fantastic place to prepare this competition.
Now you're in the semi-finals of the Confederations Cup. You have a great game in Mali. That's God willing next week. How are you preparing towards that game?
It will be a difficult game again. A very physical team. Tactically quite perfect. Their coach is really good. In my opinion, the best team of the four I've seen is Sfax. They finish easily first of their group, and I could watch their games. They really play well. They are the favorites. And after, we all know that during a semi-final everything is possible. This team of Stade Malien play very well away, has difficulties home, and we are very bad away and better home. So it will be a difficult confrontation against them. Of course, we hope to qualify, and most of the people think that TP Mazembe has won everything in Africa. That's not true. TP Mazembe has never won this cup, so I'd like to give to our president this cup. Thank you.
So Patrice Carteron, the head coach of TP Mazembe, remember they are gunning for the CAF Confederation Cup. Remember, Accra Hearts of Oak won the maiden edition. Let's see how it goes. And right about now, we do some more stories here on the show. And of course, Senegal have chosen Casablanca for their World Cup playoff. Remember that Senegal are serving a home match ban following violence on the part of their fans. And they have chosen Casablanca in Morocco as the venue for their home tie against Ivory Coast in the upcoming World Cup qualifying playoffs. Surely it's going to be a very, very tough task. You send a text message. Let us know what you make of this. Could that surely be a real home for the Senegalese? Are they able to, convert the opportunities given them there in a very good way? Let's see how all of that goes for Senegal. Let's also turn our attention to Samuel Eto'o Fields, who is still in the Cameroonian squad, despite the fact that he's been in and out and looking forward to a calling off time on his international career. Remember that he came out to call time on his international career, and now the player still remains in there. Of course, playing in the World Cup is looming, and it's around the corner, and nobody would want to miss that for anything. Yes, he may have featured there already, but, well, featuring there another time will not kill at all. All right, so there we are, some more stories here on the show, and we go to Richmond Boachi-Adom, who has scored 2 goals in 4 games in the ongoing Spanish La Liga season, and the last goal was actually scored against Real Madrid, and the player is now targeting at least 10 goals for the season, and the player who plays for newly promoted Elche is on an upward surge, looking forward to scoring goals and making a major impact in the Spanish La Liga.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank God for what he did yesterday, but for me, throughout the 90 minutes, it wasn't an easy game because, Madrid is a big club, and facing such a thing, you need to work extra hard to win. But unfortunately, yesterday, for me, the game was to be drawn.
And how would you describe your performance? Your performance on the day, how would you describe it?
Well, I always say whatever God is doing in my life, I think it is always going up and it's getting better and better every single day. And for me, I think whatever I did yesterday, I was impressed with myself. It was a very good game for me.
You got a goal not just against any other side, but against the almighty Real Madrid. A match that you played along Cristiano Ronaldo. After scoring the goal, what was it that your teammates and the fans, what did they tell you?
Well, everybody was surprised. A player who said he always score against big clubs whenever there is a need and things are not working well, things can come at a way that God wants it to come. And unfortunately, yesterday when it happened, you could see the whole stadium shaking after the goal. It was something great.
And how was it for you playing alongside the likes of C. Ronaldo, Xabi Alonso? You can just mention them, the great players of Real Madrid. How was it for you, a young player from Ghana, playing alongside these players?
Well, it was great playing alongside these players, but my duty or whatever I was supposed to do is make sure I score and I make the mark, even though it is Real Madrid, but I need to prove myself too.
The assertion here is that you guys were cheated.
Well, for me, I think there was no penalty, because if you look at the team again, if you look at it again and again, you will see like Pepe is trying to pull our player instead. The referee hit against us, which I think it was a bad officiating.
So going ahead for Richmond Boachi-Adom, played 3 games, you've scored 2 goals. going ahead, what should we expect from you?
Well, I've made my target as a first appearance in La Liga, and I said I'm scoring 10 or 12 goals, at least 10 goals to be in the first year in La Liga, or a third highly Premiership or league. I said I have to score 10 goals. So I'm working towards that 10 goals to see whatever God has for me after that 10 goals.
Okay, so your target in the La Liga for this season is to score not less than 10 goals.
Yeah.
Richmond, finally, before I take leave of you, would you be surprised if you are handed a call up to the Black Stars to play against Egypt?
I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised because whatever that person does in life, if it is going well, I think he deserves to also be rewarded. And as far as I'm concerned, I've gotten the call up to the Black Stars for the African Cup, which unfortunately I was injured, I couldn't play. And even before we played African, I think we played against Egypt and Tunisia. I don't remember if I scored against them or beat Tunisia. I don't remember who
it was. Tunisia. It was Tunisia that you scored.
Yeah. So if I'm being called up to come help my country, I'll be very glad. As I always say, my duty is to always make sure I'm doing the right thing and working hard to achieve whatever or wherever I want to get to. So if I'm being called up, I won't be surprised, but I need to put in more effort. So if I put the effort in and it's going well and being called up, I won't be surprised.
There we are. So you heard from the man, Richmond Boakye Adam. He spoke to Benedict Owusu of Joy Sports after that goal. And, of course, there are some more stories on Ghanaian players. Of course, Raheem Ayew getting ready to enter the camp of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And, of course, Andre Ayew, the second boy of Ghana legend Abedi Pele, he's backing his younger brother, Jordan Ayew, to rediscover his form there at Olympic Marseille, so he can be exceptional this season. And remember that Jordan Ayew has had to start some games from the bench, but he was able to score once at the Stade Velodrome during this campaign. And of course, another person who is being counted on to get devastating form is Kwadwo Asamoah. Well, his coach Antonio Conte at Juventus is looking forward to seeing him improve with even bigger form, and he has stated that the immense performance of the player so far makes him an irreplaceable one in the Juventus setup. This is the second time in the history of the club that a Ghanaian player is making such big impact. One may be reminded of the time when Stephen Appiah played his football there at the Old Ladies of the Italian Serie A. Okay, so KP, now this is a story according to Sule Ali Muntari. Kevin Prince Boateng moved to Schalke to be closer to his son. And Ghana midfielder Sule Muntari has revealed that compatriot Kevin Prince Boateng left AC Milan because he wanted to be closer to his son. Now, the 26-year-old made the shock return to Germany by joining Schalke 04 before the summer transfer window shut, and many have interpreted the move as a means of fleeing racial abuse, which is very prevalent in Italy. And, of course, this is something that Kevin Prince Boateng has taken upon himself. Boateng's close friend and fellow Ghanaian international Muntari revealed that the player's move was motivated by the desire to see his son, who lives in Germany, with his former girlfriend more often. And this is a quote. He says, Boateng was not so happy. He wanted to get closer to his son. Germany is his home, and he's fine there. I don't think he's gone because of racism. And this is a quote assigned to Sule Ali Muntari on that story. Okay, and former Ghana youth striker Sadat Bukhari scored the opening goal for his Romanian top-flight club, Astra Giurgiu, and this was in their 4-1 win over Berkeni at the Romanian Cup, on Thursday night. The 24-year-old shot his side ahead in the 14th minute with a powerful strike from the edge of the area, aiding the third and fourth goals at the Stadionul Maril Anastavici in Giurgiu. Okay, so Sadat Bukhari, it's been a while since we heard from him. Well, the player scored in the Romanian league, plays his football in Romania. And now the Premier League board has scheduled league matches. Remember that there's a new sponsor for broadcast rights, And so the Premier League board has rescheduled matches to ensure that, it fits TV schedules for Super Sport. So the Premier League match day 6 fixture between reigning champions and Hazakes has been rescheduled. And the fixture change was necessitated due to the impending 2014 World Cup qualifying playoff between Ghana and the Pharaohs on October 15 at the Babayara Stadium. And of course, that game will be played on that day. It was expected to be played on that day. So there will be one outstanding game for league leaders and defending champions Kumasi Asante Kotoko after that match day 6 game. And so Accra Hearts of Oak have bagged in 237,000 Ghana cedis in the Super Clash game. Accra Hearts of Oak surely are going to smile to the bank for that one. And they grossed 237,000 Ghana cedis from the Super Clash. Of course, attendance was very, very encouraging on the day. And of course, one player who was really longing to be in the squad is goalkeeper Philemon McCarthy, who is really, really struggling to get a game at Accra Hearts of Oak. He has been out injured for some time, and now he says that he's back, and he will have to really compete for the place with goalkeeper Tete Lugard, who was in post in that game against arch rivals Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And of course, Rahim Ayu, who is now a free agent, has passed the medical at Kumasi Asante Kotoko, has yet to put pen to paper to sign a deal. But the player has passed the medical and looks good to join the fold of Kumasi Asante Kotoko very, very soon. The officials of the club are yet to bring up any new development. So let's now take a look at the league, the local league, and what we should be expecting. The Ghana Premier League, there we are. Hazakes, they play Adriana Stars. Kumasi Asante Kotoko, they play New Dubiase. Inter Allies, they host Accra Hearts of Oak at the Tema Park, and Inter Allies also struggling to find their feet on their debut season. Dwarfs go away to Bechem United. Brekum Chelsea, they play Mediama SC, surely a top lineup for the weekend. And Heart of Lions play Amidas Professionals. Liberty play King Faisal, and Ashanti Gold play Wa All Stars. Okay, so who will your money be on this weekend? It surely is going to be a big action-packed weekend. Let's do some of your text messages. This one from Frank Asamoah Kwame says, Olele gives us the best when he always gives us the best when he is in the goalpost. Simon Bejra says, I don't think we need Olele now, and this is because he's not to be trusted at all. Okay. Richard Olele Kingston, the goalkeeper who's been able to feature twice at the World Cup for Ghana, is in the news again. The Ghana Football Association confirming that he is being monitored in the Cyprus top flight, where he's playing his football currently. Gabriel Nana Amponsa Hazel says, Nat, Olele is old and not fit for the World Cup. Why can't we maintain Fatau Nkwarase? Is the FA saying that he's better than Fatau Nkwarase? I can smell a rat at the GFA. Nat, Olele is not fit at all. Okay, this one from Bismarck Kwame Chelsea Edu says, Nat, I think Ghana can triumph over the Pharaohs of Egypt irrespective of the intimidations and humiliations that may come our way on their home soil. And Chelsea will tomorrow win by 3-1 at White Hart Lane from Nkranza in the Brong-Ahafo region. Of course, that is surely going to be a big clash. Tottenham Hotspurs looking forward to increasing the woes of Jose Mourinho on his return to Chelsea. And of course, Andre Villas-Boas, he is coming up against his former team. How well is he going to do? Well, we'll see in a preview that comes later on in the show. And Listual Adai, I beg your pardon, says that Olele is better than our so-called first keeper, Dauda. Okay, let's keep the messages coming in. I'll be sharing them with you as they come in. And another one from Sanford Bright Bona. Sanford Bright Bona sends this message that says, Sule Montari must be back to the Black Stars. Chelsea will win by 2 goals over Spurs. Chelsea, no size. And, Sanford Bright sent this one from Drobo in the Brong-Ahafo region. Let's do some more. And the local Black Stars team will use the West African Football Union competition, the WAFU competition, as preparation for the Chan tournament, the next Chan tournament. Remember, Ghana's best record so far is finishing second in this tournament. And the head coach of the home base senior national team, Maxwell Konedu, says that his side will be using the WAFU tournament as preparations for next year's African Nations Championship. So there it is, news coming in from the camp of the local Black Stars who've drawn the likes of Ethiopia and Congo in the Congo-Brazzaville in the stages, in that group stage of the next competition that will be hosted next year. Okay, so we'll be doing some more messages later on. Remember, you can reach us on 1760. It'll cost you only 30 Ghana pesos. And you can also find my Facebook page. Paste a comment on my wall, and let's share with everybody else. There's more here on the show. We'll do commercial, and after that, we go ahead with more stories here. You stay right here. Brazil have named the squad for an international friendly. Also coming up is international golf news. And the Ghana Olympic Committee has supported some coaches to go outside and get some more professional training. We'll be getting into all of that when we make a return from the break as well. Remember that on 28th of September, that's tomorrow, at the Independence Square in Accra, the biggest outdoor event in West Africa, the biggest outdoor event in West Africa comes off, the Schools Reunion, the 2013 edition, and it surely is going to be interesting. There will be arm wrestling, and there will be the three-pointer competition, the best representative from an alma mater that is able to shoot the best three-pointers, the highest number of three-pointers at a goal, will be given a big prize as well. So there's a lot to look forward to in the sports competitions at the Independence Square. We look forward to it. It surely is going to be a great time. There's no doubt about that. So we'll do a round of commercials, and there's more here on Sports Today. You stay right there. All right, so the Africa Cup of Nations will be on in Morocco in 2015, and CAF has released the venues for this big competition. And so remember that in 2015, everybody finds their way to Morocco, Rabat, Marrakesh, Agadir, among the 4 cities. That will be hosting the biggest football showpiece on the African continent. So let's see how it all goes. The 4 cities that will be hosting, I'm sure the preparations have already started in earnest. And the Tunisian sports minister is looking forward to the FA in his country to be banned. That's a rather bizarre story coming out of Tunisia, that the sports minister of Tunisia wants his nation to be banned from, he wants his nation to be banned by CAF. We'll be talking some more about that story in subsequent editions. Let's go to Nigeria, where Coach Stephen Keshi is backing the man, Mikel Obi, John Mikel Obi, to score more goals. Remember that he scored last week, John Mikel Obi recording his very, very first goal in the English Premier League. And John Mikel Obi seems getting better and better as he plays for the Blues in the English Premier League. And also Nigerian international Obinna Osofo, Obinna Nsofo, I beg your pardon, is expected to join the English Premier League, but will respect his contract with the Russian club Lokomotiv Moscow. And the former West Ham player looks forward to making a return to the league where he played for some seasons. And interestingly, the club have made futile attempts to take him back, and he has not ruled out a possible return. So the former West Ham United player scored 8 goals in 23 appearances for the Hammers, including the FA Cup hat-trick against Nottingham Forest. And Obinna started his European career in Italy, playing for Chievo Verona and Giants Inter Milan before spells in Spain and England, which promoted him to a move to Russia. Obinna has already been capped 44 times by Nigeria, and scored 11 goals and appeared twice for his country at the 2010 FIFA World Cup in South Africa. Now, Javier Clemente has been appointed the coach of Libya, and he's agreed in principle to coach the Libyan national side, and this is according to the Libyan FA president. So Javier Clemente, now the new coach of Libya. Let's see how well he's able to do. And the 63-year-old who coached Spain from 1992 to 98 will sign a 2-year contract next month. And Al-Takani will not reveal how much Clemente will be paid monthly. And according to the Libyan press agency, he arrived in Tripoli on Monday evening to discuss the job. So Clemente will replace Abdel Hafid Al-Rabich, who stepped down in Libya after Libya were eliminated from the 2014 World Cup qualifiers. He has also coached other sides like Serbia in 2006, 2007, and Cameroon in 2010 and 2011. Now we return to the story on Tunisia, where the sports minister, Tarak Diab, wants the World Football Governing Body, FIFA, to place a ban on his country's football federation. Well, as a result, the shock news has sparked a row between the body and the ministry. No reasons were given by the minister for... no reasons have been given for the minister's request to FIFA, but this surely has sent shockwaves. In a swift reaction, the FA has summoned an urgent meeting to be attended by the ministers of the Executive Committee and the representatives from the Ministry of Sports to examine the consequences of Diat's demand. And of course, FIFA is yet to respond, and however, the spokesperson for the FA, Nabil Daboussi, says that the minister's action could lead to a suspension of Tunisian clubs participating in the CAF Champions League and the Confederation Cup. Tunisia play Cameroon in the qualifying playoff. Let's now turn our attention to what to be expecting this weekend. Is Manchester United. Premier League fixtures there on your screen. Chelsea go away to Tottenham Hotspur. Big game indeed. Manchester City play Aston Villa. Fulham play Cardiff City. West Ham go away to Hull City. And Manchester United, West Bromwich Albion. That's the game on Joy Sports on Multi TV. Southampton play Crystal Palace. Swansea City play Arsenal. And Stoke City, they play Norwich. While Liverpool, they go away to Sunderland. And it surely is going to be interesting to see the man... Luis Suarez do some more inside the Reds team. And of course, Sunderland trying to manage with new management or a new coach after the exit of Paulo Di Canio. Everton, they will be hosting Newcastle United. So that's it for the English Premier League. Let's now take a look at what we should be expecting in the Spanish La Liga. Remember, in the Elche squad is the young man Richmond Boachilladom, who's really looking forward to scoring at least 10 goals after that brilliant header against Real Madrid. Well, we'll be talking some more. And remember, later on, we're also bringing you the Serie A highlights and fixtures. But right about now, let's take a look at what's happening in the La Liga in terms of the matches we should be expecting. Real Valladolid, they host Malaga. Valencia play Rayo Vallecano. Barcelona go away to Almeria. Sevilla play Real Sociedad. Real Madrid play Atletico Madrid. Surely one big derby. And of course, David Villa is one man, the all-time top scorer of Spain, featuring in that game for Atletico Madrid. Also in the Serie A, big games are expected, of course, later in the weekend. Let's take a look. Well, so there it is, Genoa. They play Napoli. AC Milan host Sampdoria. Juventus go away to Torino. Atalanta, they play Udinese. Inter Milan play Cagliari, while Catania play Chievo Verona. Livorno, they play Hellas Verona. Sassuolo host Lazio, while AS Roma play Bologna. And Parma go away to Fiorentina. Of course, heard from the man Jurgen Klopp. Okay, Mönchengladbach, they play Augsburg, and Bayer Leverkusen, they play Hannover 96. Wolfsburg play Bayern Munich. Borussia Dortmund play Freiburg, and Mainz play Hertha Berlin. TSG Hoffenheim hosts Schalke 04, and Hamburg play Frankfurt, while Werder Bremen play Nuremberg. TSV Braunschweig They play Stuttgart as well. All right, so from the German Bundesliga, we pay focus to the French Ligue 1. Well, there it is, Montpellier. They play Stade Rennes. Marseille go away to Lorient. And Paris Saint-Germain play Toulouse. Bordeaux play Evian Tonon Gaillard. Lille play Lyon. Nice play Lille. Guingamp play Nice. Sochaux play Valenciennes. Bastia go away to Saint-Etienne. And Stade Rennes play Nantes. While AC Ajaccio play Montpellier. Of course, the schools reunion will be coming up tomorrow, and it will be an arm wrestling competition. There will also be the three-pointer shooter competition. So you get there, and let's relive all those moments from school and renew the sporting rivalries as well. This time around, we're going to do it in three-pointer competitions and, of course, all the others. Let's take a brief round of commercials, and after that, we do some more and round up the show.
The manufacturer.
Yeah, and the system's jumping the gun. Let's get into the Ghana Olympic Committee and their everyday business. And some 2 coaches have been supported with scholarships to go and improve their skill and their quality. And this was done during the week by the Ghana Olympic Committee. Let's go to the headquarters of the Ghana Olympic Committee for the details.
That they depreciate human health. So I think it's fair to ask them to contribute to infrastructure that helps to appreciate human health. And that's all. I mean, so a few months ago, we submitted this proposal, for lack of a better word, to government, to minister. And we're hoping that it will be taken on to the places that it's supposed to go. I think this is the kind of thing that has to go to cabinet. I think this is the kind of thing that will require parliamentary approval, and which is why we passed it on to the minister, because we think he's in a much better position than we are to shepherd this thing through. I think we still have a few copies of that document here, so perhaps afterwards, if we can lay hands on them, we can share them to you. It would be nice to have a national conversation on it. But the GOC put a few months into actually developing the document, and it will be, I think, the minute we deal with this funding issue, all the other things we're talking about, being able to support our athletes, giving them the best physical therapy, medical science, giving them the best nutrition, giving them the best coaching by helping not just 1 coach or 2 coaches a year, but maybe 50 coaches a year from different sports to acquire the kind of training that we've got here. By letting our athletes be able to go out and do what the football players do, to go play a friendly match in Japan, to go play a friendly match here. Because you see, if you don't do that, and then you take Ophelia Swain in her first senior competition, the first time she gets to leave Ghana is to go to the World Championship or the Olympic Games or the Commonwealth Games, where the people that she lines up against are people that she's seen on TV or read about. You have to understand that Ophelia Swain at age 16 will become nervous and will not be able to perform even the way she performs here. And that's what we put our athletes through. I heard a lot of you complaining about Janet Amponsa's performance at the World Championships. But understand, this was her first senior competition. And her first senior competition, in the lane in front of her was the US champion. Yeah. If she doesn't go out and encounter this US champion 5 or 6 times a year, every time she runs against her, she'll be nervous. But you have to compete against them. Let them beat you, and sometimes you get close, and then you realize, meet me akwe. That's the advantage for those of us who went to school in the US. Because every week for 6 months you are competing, and you are competing against people from all over the world. That's what the Leo Miles Millses and whatnot got. So that when they get to the World Championship, the person next to them, yes, that person may be Carl Lewis, but hey, they've competed against them 20 times. They are no longer afraid of them. That's another thing that we subject our athletes to that we don't recognize. You take a boxer who's been in Accra for 18 years, and then you ship him to London for the Olympic Games, and then as soon as they unveil the place, you see 800 people there, and he's facing the guy who won the Olympics the last time. Come on. The psychology of sports is such that Yeah. So it's not just training, it's not just equipment, it's not just coaching, it's also frequent access to competition. Otherwise, yeah. So this is what we've advocated. I'm surprised we got around to it because we just came here to introduce Martin.
All right. So all right. So that's the GOC president, and he has been talking about a lot of issues regarding the development of sport. And of course, like I mentioned to you, the two coaches have been, given scholarships to go and improve their lot outside the country. Of course, a former Ghana athlete, Dr. Mark Jura-Dosi, has also been speaking to Joy Sports.
Sounds like an interview, but I will do my best. My name is Dr. Mark Jura-Dosi. I was born in Ghana, bred in Ghana. I am an athlete, a pharmacist with a doctorate degree. I am a lecturer at a university, and I also assist the Ghana Athletics program. I'm a mentor, a public speaker, and a health educator.
You just told me that you've been an athlete before.
Yes.
Which particular sports did you partake in?
I am a long jumper and a triple jumper, elite level.
And how often were you competing when you were in Ghana?
I started from high school. I attended Presec, Presbyterian Boys Secondary School at Legon. And Dr. Andrew Owusu, or Professor Andrew Owusu, was one of my mentors. Back then, we looked up to the locals, or even people like Carl Lewis back, and that was when they started competing. And you see, you think about how these people compete, you watch them on TV, and then you try to be like them here. So on campus, our hero was Professor Andrew Owusu, but back then he was called Bobby Rush. And he was a good long jumper, good triple jumper. And all we did was want to go to inter-schools or inter-houses to watch him jump. And then after that, I just picked up after him and said, I want to be like that guy. And that speared up my enthusiasm and my training. So you work hard in school as a student, but then at the back of your mind, you also want to be a good athlete. That is what pushed me all the way onto the national scene when I was 16 years old. My fourth year at Presec, it was a 7-year program at A-level, I got the chance to compete for the school at inter-schools, and that was a big honor for any student.
What was the level of competition in those days?
Very high, very high. Even though it was inter-schools, like secondary schools or high school now, is what they call it, it was still very high. We had people who were still, you go there and you want to be your best. Number one, you want to get on the junior national team or one of the national teams. And number two, also impress. We went there because, Presec was an all-boys school. We had our female schools that would come, and as an athlete, just being there wearing your school uniform, you wanted to just impress not just your schoolmates, the other schools, but also your parents. And so that was just one thing. The level of competition was very high.
And combining school and sports?
For me, it wasn't much of a problem. I did it throughout, even when I was doing my doctorate degree, I was still an athlete. I was actually competing at a higher level when I was doing my doctorate degree, and it didn't quite affect me. So that's one thing I always say, that there is this public notion that athletes are dumb, but no, we are not. When you can take a cue from all the athletes, especially Ghanaian athletes that had scholarships to go abroad, almost all of us have a master's degree or higher. Yes.
And I'm sure you can readily recall some, at least I know Dr. Andrew Owusu. He's not a professor, you didn't tell me. Professor Francis Dodo as well.
Professor Dodo.
Kenneth Van Dam, I hear, is making it big in the States.
Big. Kenneth's big. Christian Insia is also a professor of economics.
Christian is a professor now.
Yes. So, and Tanko Brahma has an MBA. He's doing very well. All the athletes, most of them, all of us that went through the American system, we didn't let up. We're going higher.
Was it that easy to, access a scholarship at the time based on how you performed on the tracks or on the field?
Yes, it was easy. What people don't know is scholarships abound. American schools, I don't know about the UK system, but I can tell for sure for American schools that they have so many scholarships that they have available to any student. If you excel, they have standards. If you excel, you get a scholarship. You excel, not just excellence in sport, but excellence in class, because those two things have to go together. You cannot just be a top athlete and fail all your exams because they will kick you out. But yes, for me, all it took was me jumping the distance I jumped. Professor Andrews got asked me for my address, my name, my address, and a phone number, sent the results up to my college, Drake, and I got a letter from the school. They wrote to me and said, your performance qualifies you for a scholarship if you have good grades. Please send your transcripts, and that's all it took.
That's all it took?
Yes, it happened in September. I was gone in January.
That's
quickly.
short.
Yes.
You're back now after so many years. What do you make of the state of athletics in Ghana now?
I wouldn't say it's down. I would say for lack of competition, our athletes are not being able to show their talent. Just by the short time I've associated myself with track and field in Ghana, or athletics in Ghana, going to Kumasi, going to the regions.
Okay, so Dr. Mark Dradosey working now, contributing massively to the academia, doing all of his work, but he's been talking about development of athletics in Ghana. Well, these discussions will go on. And remember to join all of us at the Independence Square in Accra. There is a lot to be happy about. There's a lot of competition to do, and there's a lot of old rivalries to renew as part of the Schools Reunion 2013 put together by your superstation Joy 99.7 FM. So the game to watch as well tomorrow on this channel is Manchester United, West Bromwich Albion. We will bring you that game live tomorrow. And so you join us there at the Independence Square. But you always keep it here on Joy Sports. I want to say thank you to all of you for the messages and keeping it right here. Also, I want to say thank you and maximum salutes to my production team here at Joy Sports. Next, with another even exciting show. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for sport.